His world and that of his family was turned upside down in April 2010 with his diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. For the next 9 months, he was treated at Memorial Sloan-Kettering. He had Whipple surgery, chemo, then radiation. But throughout his journey, Johnny continued to work and also to assure his friends and family that he was not bitter or angry at this turn of events. He saw a way to encourage others to grow deeper in his faith and trust in the Lord. 4.5 years later, he says he feels blessed to be here to accept this award, not just for himself, but on behalf of all of the pancreatic patients that Johnny has met and has come to know and appreciate through his personal struggle. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Johnny Ussery.
To speak on behalf of Myra and Steve, who's not able to join us. My wife Jeannie is over to my left over here, and she and I grew up in about an hour east of Charlotte in a rural part of North Carolina. The closest town was 1,200 people. That's where Jeannie grew up. She grew up in the big city. I grew up 8 miles out from there on a farm. Our parents knew each other, and actually Jeannie's a year older than I am. And I actually used her bassinet. That's how sick it is. When she was in the 8th grade, and I was over on a honeymoon. And 3 years later, moved there, I should say. And 4 children and 7 grandkids later, are very blessed to still be there. I had never been seriously ill in my 56 years of life. No surgeries. I even still had my wisdom teeth. So I had lived actually a very pain-free life. April 2010, I began to feel sluggish. All I wanted to do was sleep. I went to see my family physician. After a couple weeks and multiple tests, he called and said he was coming by our home to give us the results in person. Usually not a good sign when your doctor comes to visit your home to tell you the test results. Kent, our family physician, whom Jeannie and I had known for many years, came to our home after work. And with tears flowing, he told me I had pancreatic cancer and that there was an 85% probability that I only had about 4 to 6 months to live. He mentioned in conversation that there was a slim chance I might be a surgical candidate, and if I did qualify for surgery, it was crucial I find a surgeon who did a lot of these surgeries that they called a Whipple procedure, which I had never heard of. That statement led us to Dr. Peter Allen. And Peter, I remember telling you the first time I met you, and I probably also said this to Diane, that whatever you told me I needed to do, I would do it because I wanted to be your poster child. And thank you for making that a reality. 4.5 years later, after Whipple surgery, 6 months of chemo, and 6 weeks of radiation with more chemo. By the way, y'all didn't tell me I was going to get chemo with the radiation. Right, hear that? No one said anything about more chemo. I thought the chemo was over. By God's grace, I'm still here, and I stand before you this evening. During that 4.5 years, I've walked my youngest daughter, Jackie. Where's Jackie? Over here, down the aisle, and had that father-daughter dance. And I can't believe she picked out Butterfly Kisses as the song. I was I was awful during the entire dance. But I'm very grateful for that moment, Jackie. And I was the best man in a wedding of our son, Jeff, our 3rd child. In addition, during that 4.5 years, I've been blessed to hold and enjoy the arrival of 4 new grandchildren. I don't think anyone is prepared to hear the word cancer in a diagnosis. Judy and I were certainly not. And to hear that in all likelihood I only had 4 to 6 months to live was certainly a sobering thought. It was interesting how others responded. A very, very good friend of mine was angry with God. He said, "Johnny, you're a good guy." He said, "You don't deserve this." And I told him, I said, "Guy, I'm honored that you love and care for me that much. But I'm not angry with God. I have been blessed with a wonderful life." And I went on to say, "God, just think about it." I said, "You and I are so blessed. We could have been born in Somalia and died of malnutrition before the age of 1. Who are we to complain?" If God calls me home in several months, I've lived a great 56 years, and I accept His will for my life. I've always believed we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. I believe that adversity either makes us bitter or it makes us better. I remember reading in a book given to me by a friend just after my diagnosis, where the author said that when presented with cancer or another debilitating disorder, to not ask God, why me? Not to ask why, but to ask what? What, God, do you want me to do with this? One opportunity that has arisen as a result of my pancreatic cancer is that I've had the opportunity to talk to many others with the same diagnosis and to hopefully encourage them in their journey. People tell me that my attitude had a lot to do with my recovery. I always clarify that great doctors, nurses, and great medical care, along with answered prayers by God's grace, have enabled me to still be here. My attitude has helped me cope and deal with the circumstances, but my attitude did not rid me of cancer. Great doctors, medical care, and God have enabled me to stand before you here tonight. However, it is true, and that anyone who knows me, I am a half-full guy rather than a half-empty guy. In fact, my favorite optimist, can I say this, Jenny?
Yes.
Is Jim Carrey. How many of y'all saw the original Dumb and Dumber? Some of y'all saw that? Y'all may be too educated up here to like that kind of humor. But being from the South, I love it. For those who haven't seen it, Carrey was a goofball. He had a big gap in his teeth, he had a bowl haircut, and just stupid stuff. And he was infatuated with this girl he met in Aspen. So he was just trying to get the courage up when he met her to Aspen. And so he finally met her and he asked her, he said, what are the odds of a guy like me getting together with a girl like you? And she said, 1 in a million. And all of a sudden this big smile comes across his face and he said, so you're saying there's a chance? So compared to 1 in a million, I always felt a 5% survival rate was really pretty good odds. As we wrap up, I want to thank my wife, Jeannie, who's been an incredible caregiver for me. I tell everyone I think it's tougher on the caregiver. Thank you, honey. I love you very much. Our 4 children have been phenomenal helping us through these last 4.5 years. John, Jordan, Jeff, and Jackie, thank you so much for all your love and support. Jackie, whom you met briefly. Jordan, will you raise your hand over there? And Jordan, our other daughter, are both here with us tonight. And wrapping up, I just want to thank everybody here affiliated with Sloan-Kettering. I know this is a National Pancreatic Foundation fundraiser, and I thank all you guys for all that you do. However, the personal experience that I've experienced at Sloan has been incredible. Beginning with this this quiet, laid-back guy, I'm trying to help him get more enthusiasm when I walk in the office downstairs named Nick. Where's Nick? Nick, where are you? There you are. Beginning with Nick and the big bear hug. I love you, man. Thank you. To Carol and all the staff, I don't want to start naming, I'm going to leave everybody out, but all the staff, of Diane's staff and Peter's staff, thank each of you for making each visit such a more enjoyable situation. I don't used to live in Manhattan until this past January. And I'd always play a mental game myself. I said, well, I'm going to visit our daughter and grandchildren. And while I'm there, I may slip over to Sloan and have a scan done. So she has now moved to Durham, and I can't do that anymore. I got to come up with something different, Peter. But all of you staff are so wonderful. And Blair, when you come out to take me back to see Dr. Reedy, everybody's just awesome. But thank you. To Dr. Allen, Peter, and Dr. Reedy, I want to thank you, Diane, for literally saving my life. I thank you very, very much. Thanks also to each of you donors for giving the medical staffs at cancer institutions the resources for research in hope that one day they'll discover a cure for this devastating disease. As I stand before you tonight, I can't help but think that over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that people like you were gathered at an event like this. And those people back then made a donation to pancreatic research. And for those people who did that back then, people like Myra and myself and Steve are still here. So it's really interesting, and through the donations and the funds that are given to the Dr. O'Reillys of the world and the Reedies and the Allens who can do research. And so your donations here this evening will help people currently struggling with this disease. But what's really neat, it'll help folks 5 to 10 years from now who'll be struggling with it, and hopefully they'll have even better treatments for it. We greatly appreciate all of you. Thank each of you for your part in fighting this battle with pancreatic diseases, and may God bless each one of you. Thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause.